Hello everyone, welcome back. This is my second tutorial. This is going to be on Cybernet, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys with the editor, the next level in programs that you can do, which is automation and firewalls. So pretty much what we're going to be making today is going to be something like this, where you just run your program. And it just automatically scans, hacks, unlocks, and scans everything inside of it. This is what it's gonna do. The first thing we need to know is firewalls, because this is a big blocker. Pretty much what a firewall is, it's some of the networks have firewalls. You can tell right here. You buy exploits to firewalls in the browser in the dark market. This is where you buy the exploits to get them. I own almost all of them. There might be a few that I don't own. But pretty much once you have an exploit, you can click exploit, and that's it. But this is very important for automation, because you have to actually code that into your automation program for it to work. Alright, so you want to jump in your editor here. Just create a new program. It doesn't matter what you name it. And you want to go to start. Alright. This is the main thing we're going to be working with. These are all the exploits I own, and this is the stuff that you use to get around exploits. But for the first thing we need to do is to create our automation script. So it's going to be very similar to the one that we did last video, and I recommend that if you haven't watched the first video, you watch it, because that goes over a lot of the basics. Alright, so this is pretty much the finished command. It's just the start command, it's not your complete finish command. But so pretty much all it does is the exact same thing as that we did last time, except there's no steal. It goes to the merge, scans, moves, hacks, login. You should already have this if you have watched the other video. But the thing that changes now is, so you've logged into the network, now you have to tell the program to scan, hack, log in to each of the actual devices. So the first thing we want is just to go into here, search up device, since there's so many things you can't find it, and you need network devices. Just place this right here, and you need to connect the context. So what this does, you get the context, which it knows whichever network you clicked on. It's telling the network devices, and then this puts out a list of all the devices connected to the network. Next, you're going to go into your orange section. You're going to get a for each command. After the login, you're going to connect it to that, and then you're going to connect the list to that. So what this is doing is saying, after you log into the network, for each of the devices listed, you're going to do a command. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do pretty much the exact same thing right here. Now you just gotta wire it the exact same way you did, except this is start. Ooh, and I forgot to mention, instead of connecting context target to the target, you're gonna connect item because to each of these, because if you connect the context, the scan is gonna try and scan the network, not the device. It's gonna try and scan whatever this context is. So you have to put item, so this tells it for each of the items to scan, and the same with all of these, so it doesn't give you a million errors and crash your PC. Alright, we've copied the exact same thing here to here. So now this is pretty. The last thing you want to do is you want to go into the action box and select the steal button, and you just got to do that. Make sure the item's selected so it knows what to steal from, and then you're done. But there's one thing, you might realize that there's no end, but the thing needs to end. So pretty much what you want to do, see how it's done? So pretty much it's gonna loop for however many networks there is. It's gonna do this entire loop for all the devices. When it's done, you can then continue on with it, whatever you want. But for now, we're just gonna put an end for the thing. So if we were to just go over to whatever you want, I'd recommend like a house. Right click, run, tutorial, whichever one you select the name of. And it'll do this. So pretty much the scan failed, so it's restarting. Uh-oh. We ran into a problem and made us very laggy. If we check the terminal, what do you think? Because we ran into a firewall. Because we didn't code ours to do a firewall. I have the exploit to it, but I don't want to do it manually. So we have to do it in the editor. Our next thing is going to be doing how to do a firewall. This part's slightly more confusing. We have the basic gist. This will work on anything that doesn't have a firewall. Make sure you remove this connection, because pretty much what we do after we move scan and move to, we'll be able to see if it has a firewall or not. And we're going to start with required exploit. So pretty much once you get the network, this is going to scan and find the library of the exploit you have. It's going to find the version, and it's also just going to say if it has a firewall and if you own the firewall. So we're going to move this down here for a little own if statement and stuff like that. We're going to need 2 if statements. The first one is going to be, does it have a firewall? All right. So we're going to connect move to does it have a firewall? If it does have a firewall, we're executing that. If it doesn't have a firewall, we can just move on to this and power this, because it doesn't have a firewall. We don't need to worry about this entire situation. Doesn't have a firewall, moves on to this. Then, if it does have a firewall, do we own the firewall? That means have we bought it from the dark web? If we do own the firewall, we're gonna move on to something else. But right now, if we don't own the firewall, we're just gonna want it to end so we don't crash our PC. You can't have 2 ends, so we're gonna have to have a merge and just have these 2 things connect and end. So now, if we do not own the firewall and it has a firewall, the thing will end. All right, so now what if we do? If we do own the firewall, we're then gonna want to go to our next thing, match exploit. So this right here, as it says, it gets the exploit that matches your firewall. So it gets the library, gets the version, and you get exploit from it. The next thing you want is run exploit. So you have it, now you just trigger true. So if you own the firewall, it will run this, your exploit right there, and your target. Drag this. So pretty much what this is saying, you then connect run exploit to this. There you go. Now this is your completed command. It looks really confusing, but just to recap, what this is saying is that you start, you scan until you get successful, you move to, but instead of going straight to hacking, you then go to here, and this checks to see, so it does it have a firewall? No, move on. It does it have a firewall? Yes. Do you own the firewall? No. And end the program? Yes. It's then gonna move on to this, which you get the library and version exploit. This is pretty much saying if executed, run this exploit on the target. And it says success fail. I've never had an exploit not succeed. And then after you run the exploit, it continues on with the hack. So this should be your finished program. If you look at it, it's pretty much the exact same one as this. It just have it laid out differently. We're gonna try and hack a bank, which you can hack banks because it also, if you don't, you have to just like, once you start building money, you have to start buying exploits. We're hacking the bank. This bank does have a lot, so it's probably gonna raise it up to around 60% awareness when we're done. But as you can see, every bank has a firewall, and the thing automatically just hacked and exploited the firewall. Now we're hacking each one of these. Oh, somebody just traced me. that was about to complete until this guy hacked me, but pretty much, yeah. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, make sure you comment down below, and have a good day.